Welcome to my channel, CAR Culture, where we explore the legends, the icons, and the future of the automotive world. Today, we are starting the topic of a name that changed the history of transportation forever, the Ford Model T. But this time, imagine that legendary name returning in a completely new form. This is the 2027 Ford Model T, a modern interpretation of one of the most important cars ever created. The original Ford Model T became famous because it brought automobile ownership to ordinary people. It was simple, practical, durable, and revolutionary for its time. Now, imagine Ford taking that historic identity and combining it with modern design, advanced technology, electrification, premium comfort, and futuristic engineering. The result could be something completely different from the Model T of the past, while still carrying the spirit of innovation that made the original so special. From the first look, a modern 2027 Ford Model T would need to respect its heritage. Instead of simply copying the classic shape, designers could reinterpret its iconic proportions with a contemporary body. A long, clean silhouette could be combined with modern aerodynamic surfaces, a wide stance, LED lighting, and a distinctive front design inspired by the original Model T. The classic Ford identity could remain visible, while the overall appearance feels unmistakably futuristic. At the front, the 2027 Model T could feature a modern interpretation of the traditional grille, surrounded by slim LED headlights. A full-width lighting signature could give the vehicle a recognizable presence at night. The hood could carry subtle design elements inspired by early Ford automobiles, while the lower bumper could incorporate active aerodynamic components to improve efficiency at highway speeds. Moving toward the side, the design could become even more interesting. Large aerodynamic wheels, smooth body panels, flush door handles, and a flowing roofline could create a premium appearance. Instead of the tall and narrow proportions of the original Model T, this modern interpretation could have a wider and more confident stance. The vehicle could also feature a range of paint options, including classic-inspired colors, as well as modern metallic finishes. At the rear, slim LED taillights could provide a futuristic signature. A clean tailgate design and integrated aerodynamic spoiler could improve both appearance and efficiency. The Ford logo could sit prominently at the center, reminding everyone that this is still part of the Ford family. But the biggest transformation would happen inside the cabin. The original Model T was built around simplicity, while the 2027 version could redefine simplicity through intelligent technology. Imagine opening the door and finding a spacious cabin with a minimalist dashboard, premium materials, comfortable seats, and a large digital display. A modern infotainment system could provide navigation, entertainment, vehicle settings, smartphone connectivity, and real-time driving information. A digital instrument cluster could replace traditional gauges, allowing drivers to customize the information displayed in front of them. Voice controls could also allow drivers to operate many vehicle functions without taking their hands off the steering wheel. Technology could extend far beyond the screen. The 2027 Ford Model T could potentially feature advanced driver assistance systems, adaptive cruise control, lane centering technology, automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, parking assistance, and a high-definition camera system. The goal would not simply be to make driving easier, but to make every journey more confident and comfortable. Under the hood, or beneath the floor in an electric version, the modern Model T could represent another major transformation. Since the automotive industry is moving rapidly toward electrification, a future Model T could potentially use an electric powertrain. Instant torque would provide quick acceleration, while a large battery could deliver enough range for daily commuting and longer road trips. Imagine pressing the accelerator and feeling immediate electric power without the traditional delay of a gasoline engine. An advanced battery system could potentially support fast charging, allowing drivers to spend less time connected to a charger and more time on the road. Ford could also focus on efficiency, making the Model T practical rather than simply powerful. Of course, performance would depend on the version Ford might choose to produce. A standard model could focus on efficiency, comfort, and affordability, while a higher performance version could offer stronger acceleration and sportier handling. This would create a modern interpretation of the Model T philosophy, giving customers a vehicle that fits their everyday needs. One of the most fascinating possibilities would be the combination of heritage and sustainability. The original Model T played a major role in making cars accessible to the masses. A modern electric Model T could represent another major transition, helping bring advanced electric transportation to a wider audience. However, creating a new Model T would not be easy. The original became legendary because it solved a problem for its generation. A 2027 version would need to solve modern problems. It would need to be efficient, reliable, affordable, comfortable, safe, and technologically advanced. Simply placing the Model T name on a futuristic car would not be enough. The interior could also focus on practicality. A modern family-friendly cabin could provide flexible seating, useful storage compartments, wireless charging, multiple USB-C ports, and a large cargo area. Ford could potentially design the vehicle around real-world usability rather than unnecessary complexity. Another exciting possibility is software. A future Ford Model T could receive over-the-air updates, allowing certain vehicle features and software improvements to be delivered remotely. The car could become smarter over time instead of remaining exactly the same from the day it leaves the factory. Connectivity could also play a major role. Drivers could use a smartphone application to check battery status, locate the vehicle, manage charging, lock or unlock the doors, and monitor important vehicle information. This would make the Model T feel less like a traditional automobile and more like a connected piece of modern technology. But perhaps the most important feature would be its identity. Ford would have to make sure the 2027 Model T feels special. The original was not famous because it was luxurious. It was famous because it represented progress. A modern version should carry that same philosophy. Imagine seeing a 2027 Ford Model T driving through a city. From a distance, its futuristic lighting and clean bodywork would make it look like a modern vehicle. But when you look closer, subtle details would reveal the connection to the legendary original. The name would instantly create curiosity because very few automotive names carry the historical importance of Model T. Pricing would be another major factor. If Ford ever decided to revive the Model T name, the vehicle would need to balance technology with accessibility. An extremely expensive Model T would conflict with the original philosophy. A reasonably priced version could make the name far more meaningful. It is important to remember that a 2027 Ford Model T like the one we are discussing is a futuristic concept and not a confirmed production specification unless Ford officially announces such a vehicle. The design, performance, battery range, features, and pricing discussed here should therefore be viewed as possibilities rather than official specifications. Still, the idea is fascinating. The original Model T helped define the automobile industry of its era. A modern interpretation could represent what the next generation of transportation might look like. Ford has a long history of bringing iconic names into new generations, and the Model T remains one of the most recognizable names in automotive history. Whether it ever returns as a real 2027 production vehicle or remains an imaginative concept, the idea gives us a chance to think about how the automobile has changed over more than a century. From a simple machine designed to put people behind the wheel to a potential electric vehicle filled with digital technology, the journey of the Model T represents the evolution of transportation itself. So what do you think about the idea of a 2027 Ford Model T? Would you want Ford to bring this legendary name back as a modern electric vehicle? Or should the original Model T remain untouched as a piece of automotive history? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this look into the possible future of one of Ford's greatest names, make sure to subscribe to CAR Culture for more exciting automotive stories, futuristic cars, legendary models, and the latest ideas from the world of automobiles. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.